Okay, we've been working on simplifying radicals. So we're going to progress. We're still going to be simplifying radicals. You'll still have this set of instructions: simplify, leave answer in simplified radical form, assume all variables are positive. I'm more concerned with the process of getting to simplification. Now there will be time and place where we do need to use the absolute value, but it'll say that in instructions. Okay. Product rule of radicals, similar to the product rule of exponents. It's a shortcut. This will allow us to stay in the radical form. What it says is if I have the nth root of a and I'm multiplying it to the nth root of b, there's the product. What I can do then is I will have the nth root of a times b. So the radicand here is a, radicand here is b. Here the radicand becomes a times b. We saw in the clip that I had the square root of 300. It looked like this to start, and we split it up. Square root of 3 times square root of 100. That's why I have the double arrow here. Sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it's in this form. What we'll see is we're going to see they start in this form. What I suggest to you is go through and do the multiplication. Take a times b, get this, and then start breaking it down. Make it look like the problems we just did in the last couple of clips. Okay? If you start taking out and simplifying this, and then simplifying this, just remember you still have to multiply at the end. What I recommend is multiply these first, get this to be one item, and then start simplifying. So we'll start with an easy one here. So we have square root of 6 times square root of 3. Square root of 6 times square root of 3. The indexes match. That has to be the case. If this is a square root and this is a cube root, I can't use this rule unless I did some changing. We're not going to worry about that. If we had more time and all the other stuff, I would introduce those. Square root of 6 times square root of 3. Well, there's no perfect square in there. If it was 4, I'd be able to simplify it. If it was 16, I'd be able to simplify it. There's no perfect square in there as well. So this matches here. So what I want to do is I want to multiply it together. So this gives me the square root. 6 times 3 is 18. Well, maybe as I went through and I created that new value, maybe there was a factor in here that was also in here, creating a perfect square. So 18, can I break that down by dividing by 2 squared? It's not divisible by 4. Is it divisible by 3 squared? Which is 9. Oh yeah, 18 is 9 times 2. So that's 3 squared times 2. Now if you look at it, there's a 3 there, and you know that 6 is 2 times 3, so there's also a 3 there. So that should make sense. Power matches the index. Take out the base. So the 3 is coming out. And remember, this is a product. Therefore, this is still going to be a product. Don't put the plus in between. Don't put the plus in between. So this is 3 root. The 2 is left behind. Square root of 18. 3 root 2 have the same decimal value. This is a simplified radical form. So remember, as we are doing this, rule number 1, remove nth powered factors. So when you see something like this, for the product rule, check to see if these are the same, so that we can go through. But also by checking that index, you know what powers you have to take out at the end. If it's a 2, we're taking out perfect squares. If it's a 3, you're taking out perfect cubes. Okay. So let's go to blue. Square root of 18. Y times square root of 14 y. The indexes match. I'm multiplying. So when you do this, coefficient times coefficient, variable times variable. So x times x, y times y, as you need to. 18 times 14. I don't have my calculator handy, so I'm just going to do it old school. So we get square root of 252 y squared. I think that's right. Okay, so power matches index. I know I'm going to take out a y. Now 252. We want to see if we can break that down. Okay, when we look at this, 252. It is divisible by I'm going to start with 2 squared. It's divisible by 4, or 2 squared. So 252, it goes in 6. Goes in 63 times. Well, 4 doesn't go into 63. 4 doesn't go into 63. I'm not going to try that again. So now I'm going to try 9. Well, 9 goes in, 3 squared goes in 7 times. If that had gone in, I go 4 squared, 5 squared, etc. So I know I'm going to take a 2 out. I'm going to take a 3 out. So I have 2 times 3 times y. The 7 stays inside. Root 7. Well, we want to simplify. When you take this out, remember it's a product, so I can simplify that to 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Y root 7. Now, as you go through, if you realize that you can take out a 4, or square root of 4, square root of 9, we could have done 36. Would have been actually a quicker route. Square root of 36 is 6. Okay, so that's the start of the product rule. Next few clips, I'm going to give you test level questions. Okay, as we go through. So they'll build on this a little more information. Remember, remove nth powered factors. Multiply the radicands, and then use whatever pattern you see fit.